And the reason for that is that your body is actually reacting before your mind can rationalize the situation. So it's a really somatic thing that's happening. And that's the key point that I want to share with you, is that your body holds the key to reversing these physiological feelings that you have of anxiety. Hello and welcome back. Now, just before we get started, if you're watching this on the Total Somatics YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell. The reason I share that with you is when you look at the analytics, there are a lot of people that are watching this channel that aren't subscribed. So I'd encourage you to subscribe, because when you do, it allows many more people to also hear this information. And as you're aware, this information is really important for our current and future health and well-being. And today, what I want us to discuss is the subject of anxiety. It's really important that we look at this subject, and we're going to look at it through a total somatic lens. Because maybe you or somebody that you love has experienced anxiety. To be fair, most people in this world have had some form of anxiety at some point in their life. And what I want to do today is give you some resources as well as some information on how we can manage this situation. I'd like to share with you how when we move slower, we can actually calm ourselves faster. Interesting statement, isn't it? When we move slower, we can calm ourselves faster. Because let's consider, first of all, what anxiety is doing physiologically. Anxiety will speed everything up, from your heart rate, your breathing. It accelerates how quickly that tension builds up through your body. But also your thoughts will speed. You become so anxious, and often there's a lot of rumination as well, isn't there? So somebody can say something to you, and those thoughts can really start to churn over. And with that anxiety, it can be perceived in a different way than it was actually intended. This is what happens when we go into a survival state. And the reason for that is that your body is actually reacting before your mind can rationalize the situation. So it's a really somatic thing that's happening. And that's the key point that I want to share with you, is that your body holds the key to reversing these physiological feelings that you have of anxiety. Because when we move slower and when we move slowly, generally with awareness, what we're doing is we're sending messages through our vagus nerve to our brain to say that we're safe. So consider that for a moment, that we have the power to move slower. And with that slowness, there's a greater awareness. Again, this powerful nerve, the vagus nerve, will be telling your brain from the signals it picks up that we're safe. And that's the key thing, is with Total Somatics, I teach you techniques whereby we use clinical somatic movements to help us to shift from the fight or flight stress response into the rest and digest state. And the thing is, these movements are not random. They're based on patterns that our nervous system already understand, such as yawning, contracting, releasing, lengthening, not stretching, but lengthening. And what I want to do is, so that you can experience this firsthand and really experience how somatically we can release and let a lot of this stuff go, I want to share with you a free resource. This resource is a 33-minute movement session, a clinical somatic movement session. And what I'm going to be showing you, and I get on the floor here in my studio with you, will release through your shoulders, through your hips, across your abdominals, and I'll be encouraging you to open across your chest, release all this tension that builds up through your chest. Because again, when we're in a fearful, anxious state, we'll often roll our shoulders forward, tuck our tailbone up and under, really go into quite a fetal position. And when we go into that, it's self-preservation, because we're wanting to take care of our vital organs. That's the stress response. It's all about taking care of us. But to live in this constant, rounded, stooped position, one, it is not great for our joints or our muscles or our breathing, but it's reinforcing to our nervous system we're in a survival state. So we'll stay chronically tight with our muscles. And as we've learned in previous episodes, that pumps out the cortisol, and cortisol will create inflammation in our body and all the other disruptions related to that. So this movement session that I will go through with you, I'll guide you through this. We're looking at those key areas that get locked up through anxiety: hips, shoulders, abdominals, neck, ribs, across your chest, tight hip flexors. And within 33 minutes, you can change the state of your nervous system. So if that's something that you'd like to do now, after this episode, please go to totalsomatics.com/gift, as in GIFT, totalsomatics.com/gift, and have a look at that movement practice. Not just have a look at it, but truly embody it, practice it. Notice how you feel at the beginning, midway when I take you through a scan, and how you feel at the end. And don't skip or don't jump past those scans, because the scans are really important. That's allowing us to move out of our headspace into sensing and feeling what's going on within our body. Because when we're in a stress response, a lot of the time we'll just continue to live up here in our head. But we want to feel comfortable to inhabit our body and notice the feelings and the sensations that we have. And what we're going to do is, when you're doing that practice on a regular basis, you're going to start to see shifts on many levels: emotionally, mentally, physically, and energetically. And just consider this for a moment, that in a world that wants us to rush around, and we've got deadlines, and we've got to do this, that, and the other, we've got notifications going off all the time, I'd encourage you to join me and be rebellious. And we're going to be rebellious because we're going to choose to move slowly. We're going to move more with intention and focus, nurturing and care with our current and our future health and well-being. We're going to let all that chaos just go past us. We're going to focus on here and now, what we can do at this point to regulate our nervous system, manage those feelings, those physiological sensations as well that contribute towards the whole situation with anxiety. And we're going to choose to go slower. We're going to be more deliberate. And remember, when we do that, we discover much more of ourselves. We notice much more. We'll notice if our breathing is shallow. And then in that particular movement where I teach you to open across your chest, I'm going to be encouraging you to breathe deeper into all of your chest, into all sides of the ribs, into your belly. So we really start to bring greater resilience, capacity, greater bandwidth within your nervous system. So we're no longer living in this anxious state, but we can move more into that rest and digest. So that's totalsomatics.com/gift. But if you want to know even more and go into greater detail with the vagus nerve work, I can teach you that within the Total Somatics online membership. I have entire sections to do with nervous system regulation. I have a background in trauma therapy as well, so I bring all of that within my membership. So if you want to know even more and go deeper with this work, if you go to totalsomatics.com, click on the Join Now page, and you can leave your details there. And whenever I open the membership doors again, you are more than welcome to join. And you'll know about that because I can email you all the details then. So until next time, all my love, all my very best wishes. Let me know how you get on, by the way, with that resource. I'd love to hear all your feedback or your takeaway points. And I will see you next time. All my love. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and also forward this on to somebody you know will benefit. To learn more about pain relief, plus how to improve your health and well-being, go to totalsomatics.com. Until next time, take care.